The journey of 1,000 miles, they say, begins with a step. A very popular saying. But there's a key element missing in that age-long statement, and that is direction. The direction of the journey determines if the journey is worth starting at all. So for me, the best way of putting that statement will be the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step in the right direction. Now we all know the definition of insanity. You know insanity, madness. Follow me. I'm heading somewhere. Insanity means doing the same thing in the same way, but expecting a different result. Now I said all that to say this. If we're ever going to get it right in Nigeria and Africa, we must radically overhaul our electoral system. My focus in this video is Nigeria, my dear country. Because if Nigeria gets it right, Africa will walk into total freedom. Since the inception of democracy in Nigeria, I mean since 1999, INEC had been the major thorn in the flesh in all our democratic processes. And the situation has become even more despicable and appalling, for want of better words. You see, I love the way my brother, Mr. Randy Peters, puts it. He said that INEC has become the weapon fashioned against Nigerians. And I say that INEC is not only a weapon or the weapon fashioned against us as a people in Nigeria, it is the manufacturer of other deadly weapons that are killing us, by the way. INEC is frustrating and killing Nigerians and Nigeria every 4 years since 1999. And don't get it twisted. I'm not against INEC in any way. As a matter of fact, I want INEC to run and function just like the name INEC implies. INEC stands for Independent Electoral Commission. Now take note of the word independent. Independent. That is, they are supposed to be uninfluenced, unbiased, and uncontrollable. But unfortunately, INEC, or the INEC we are having, is totally far from independence. It is right inside the pockets and wallets of politicians. This is nonsensical nonsense, and we must address and fix it once and for all in Nigeria. How did we even get here in the first place? That's my question. What brought about all this madness in the first place? I feel one of the major reasons why we are all in this mess is because of one thing, and that's power. Giving too much power to individuals as opposed to systems and institutions. You see, when we allow the president to appoint the chairman and commissioners of INEC and the Senate, which have virtually become toothless bulldogs and rubber stamps, without any question, without any scrutiny and all whatnot, give their approval. What do you expect? What do you expect? Meanwhile, the president is usually a candidate in the elections, or is either backing a candidate from his party, This is what we see in Nigeria since 1999. And like Randy Peters keeps shouting, unless we fix our electoral system, forget about a new Nigeria. Forget about things working well in Nigeria. Unless we fix our electoral system, forget about that beautiful future for you, your children, and your loved ones. Nigerians, our electoral system is in shambles. It has been rubbishing the democracy we claim to practice. And now, 2027 is around the corner. And already some people have mapped out plans and strategies to rewrite that dirty script again. As a matter of fact, I feel so sorry for Nigeria. If we don't act and stop them, those that are seated there will still be seated, and in fact, they will gain more balance. Nigerians, it go shock us, and that will be lamentation, wailing and suffering part 2. You know, say Nigerians, na lamentation, complaining and wailing we sabi. We no sabi take action and stop nonsense. But if na cry, if na complain, if na lamentation, we are very good at that. If we don't do anything, it go shock us, say Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. That is, if you still there. Because like ordinary president used to say, you know, ordinary Ahmed Issa, good morning, my ordinary president. Hembelembe. You know, like he used to say. He said that what is not possible in other climes is not only possible in Nigeria. It is already happening. So if we do not do anything, it go shock us, say the man go still there. And it go deliver neatly. Nothing they happen in 2027. You go see. It go deliver neatly. How far with all the glitches of the 2023 election? We never forget them. We don't already forget them. And the man is still moving freely. His commissioners are still moving freely, driving big cars and intimidating poor masses. That's the kind of thing we see in Nigeria. So my people, there's no gainsay to this. If we don't act and say it's enough, the INEC chair and commissioners will forever dance to the whims and caprices of the persons who appointed them. Now, someone may want to argue what I just said by pointing, you know, to the case of President Goodluck Jonathan in the 2015 elections. How the opposition won against the norm. But the truth is, President Ebele Goodluck Jonathan is a perfect gentleman and a formidable Democrat. You see, he personally decided to concede defeat and let it slide. That's what he did. That was what happened. He had all the power, you know, to manipulate and maneuver, but he decided to concede defeat. How many so-called Democrats can toe this path, especially in the times we're in right now in Nigeria? How many of them can do that? So if Nigeria must move forward with free, fair, and credible elections, then the appointment of the INEC chairman and commissioners must be completely overhauled. We must take the power of appointment away from the president and place it in the hands of a truly independent body. That's the only way to build real trust. And that's what democracy stands for. In fact, it's time we concoct and create our own style of democracy, something that will work for us. It's time we create our own, something I term democracy. Democracy simply means the government of the people, by the people, for the people, through the help of God and His laws. So it's time for us to act. Nigerians, let us henceforth decide that there are two offices that should henceforth appoint or choose our umpire. By this I mean the INEC president or the INEC chairman. Number one, the office of the citizens. You see, power belongs to the people, and the people in power are always lesser than the power in the people and the number of the people. You see that? How many these political office holders, or even all the politicians be self? At all, 5,000 out of over 300 million of us Nigerians. Wake up. Wake up. Now see what we could do. Let's create what I call Citizens Electoral Council. It will be a neutral selection committee made up of credible, unbiased, non-sentimental, non-partisan, non-religious, and completely detribalized representatives from diverse backgrounds all over the country. Maybe you don't understand. In practical sense, what I mean is the representatives wey go make up this council can be drawn from civil society organizations. And I'm talking about the genuine ones who defend the truth and uphold justice, not the ones that have been bought over. Okay? So civil society organization. Then also retired judges of impeccable record. I thank God that we still have a few of them. Okay, Nigeria never buy rich like that. The visionary student union representatives. Okay. Then market women association. Yes. You know, our mommies and aunties. I beg. It's time for una to help us. You know. Then also labor union. NLC, TUC, another labor, union. We thank you now for what you don't do so far, but it's beyond fighting for minimum wage or tariff hikes. Here's a bigger challenge, one that will give you some break from all your unheeded appeals, rallies, and protests. Okay? So, waiting be the duty of the Citizens Electoral Council. Waiting will be their duty. Now just three. Number one, interviewing. Number two, screening. And number three, voting in candidates that will be based on the criteria that are set by us, the people. In this case, I am talking of something like a referendum. And if you want me to discuss a referendum in detail, let me know in the comment section. Number two, which is very sensitive and diplomatic, but if we take away biases and sentiments, we go thank ourselves in no distant time. And that's utilizing our faith-based bodies more effectively and efficiently. And I'm talking about the joint body of Christian, Muslims, and traditional faith leaders. Of course, I mean a selected few drawn from these main religions we have in the country. Individuals with deep moral compass and proven track records of integrity, credibility, and servant leadership. They should be the one to decide and also produce the INEC boss, their commissioners for Nigeria. The kind of INEC chairman and commissioners Nigerians expect to get from this kind of setting will be formidable, I tell you. They will fear God more than they fear any politician. So let's try a pastor. Let's try an imam or a traditionalist. Let me know what you think in the comment section. My name is Pastor Richman, the Lion of Africa, and I roar for the liberation of Nigeria and Africa. Hiya!